And why does that stuff matter? It doesn't just matter because everybody likes to be liked. There are jobs in Missouri that depend on us selling things to folks around the rest of the world. And you all know very well that you don't buy stuff from people who you don't like. Well, there are an awful lot of people around the world that don't like us very much after what John McCain and George Bush have done to this country and said, and the way they've behaved and treated our allies. We don't need any more foreign policy based on petulance. We need foreign policy based on cooperation. So that's number one. Is that our jobs depend on working cooperatively with other people around the world so that we can sell our stuff and keep our jobs here in America and send our products abroad instead of sending our jobs abroad. That's number one. Number two, Harry Truman, a native from those, must be from western Missouri over there, right? Harry Truman, after we defeated fascism in Europe 60 years ago, sent taxpayers' dollars from America to Europe. Wasn't very popular at the time under the Marshall Plan. And we had a continent that was the most violent continent on the face of the earth, Europe, for 1,000 years. Any history majors here, you've had to memorize all those wars, one after another. The Roses, the who knows what, I can't remember them anyway. I took history a long time ago. But there's a lot of them, right? Culminating with World War I and World War II. In the last 60 years, the Europeans, in part because we were willing to help them instead of go after them some more after we beat them, they have put together on the continent of Europe a 27-country with lots of different languages, common market. 15 of them, soon to be 16, use the same currency. That is an extraordinary thing, and Harry Truman had the moral authority to do that because America had moral authority. Jimmy Carter sat down with Anwar Sadat, the president of Egypt, and Menachem Begin, the prime minister of Israel, and helped fashion the first peace treaty between Israel and any Arab country. Bill Clinton went to Northern Ireland and sat down with Protestants and Catholics and helped to broker a settlement to end 30 years of terrorist violence on both sides, which killed 3,000 innocent women and children in Northern Ireland. They could bring people together at the peace table because they had moral authority. But as George Bush has proved, you don't demand moral authority at the barrel of a gun or by dissing people you don't respect. You earn moral authority by living what you say. You can't demand moral authority and then torture people. If you want moral authority and you want to talk about democracy and human rights around the world, you've got to practice democracy and human rights in your own country. One of the saddest things about John McCain, who I have admired for quite some time, but I can tell you right now, the John McCain of 2000 wouldn't consider voting for the John McCain of 2008. One of the saddest things about John McCain is he himself was subjected to torture as a prisoner of war. Always stood against it until the Democrats passed a bill that would outlaw waterboarding, and he supported President Bush's veto of that bill. This is a guy who'll say anything, and so far has been showing exactly doing that to be President of the United States. And if you're willing to say anything to be President of the United States, you should not be President of the United States. This is an extraordinary country. America is. It's a very special country. I think it's the greatest country in the world. And that doesn't mean that as individuals we, because we're American, are better than anybody else in a foreign country. That doesn't mean that. But what makes this country so incredibly special is because we try to work for our ideals. You know, all human beings are kind of a mix of good and not so good. We try, or have always tried, to appeal to our best instincts. We've always thought human beings could be more than they are. And we work hard to be more than we are by cementing a social culture where we work for the best of us and we'll try to disapprove and minimize the worst in us. And America is a special country. There is a reason that so many people come to America, that my ancestors did and your ancestors did, unless you're Native American, in which case you were here first. But there's a reason so many people have come here, because this is a country where you can come with nothing and rise to be the President of the United States, as we're about to see. You can use the principles of this country, which are freedom and opportunity and hope, to become whatever you want. Not without struggle and not without luck. That's all part of it. But we're set up that way because we have a higher view of what human beings can become, and it's ingrained in our Constitution and our government and who we are. That is what is at stake in this election. Are we going to look to the policies of cynicism and anger in the past, or are we going to grasp for hope? Because America is a great nation. The American people are great people. And we now need a president who is as great as the American people. And that president is Barack Obama. And when you elect Barack Obama, we will have a great nation that is worthy of the leadership of the rest of the world once again. Barack Obama and Joe Biden, and sign up with these people with clipboards because we're not doing it without you. Don't blow it. It's your generation. It's at stake. Thanks very much.